everyone. I'm Dr. Rohit Arora, Head of Department of Pediatrics at Apollo Cradle Hospital, Gurgaon. Today we'll be talking about the importance of vaccination in kids. If you have any questions at any point, please don't hesitate to send your questions on this live session. It all started in 1796 when Edward Jenner, one of the physicians, he inoculated an 8-year-old child with a cowpox virus. So there was a big outbreak of smallpox around in that region, and then he decided to inoculate this child with a cowpox virus, which was relatively less virulent. It didn't cause much infection. So the thinking behind this was that it might help prevent the smallpox when you get infected with the less infective cowpox virus. So he tried that on this child and actually worked in the way he expected. So this child did not develop the smallpox. Now smallpox was a disease which used to cause a lot of deaths and disease in that period, and millions and millions of people used to get infected, and out of which thousands used to die each year. So that was the beginning of vaccination. Actually, interestingly, vaccination term was also coined by Edward Jenner, and vacca actually means cow in Latin language. So that's how the name came from the cowpox virus itself. So that's how it all started, and now vaccination is one of the potent weapons against diseases in children and adults as well. So smallpox, for which the first vaccine was given, is actually eradicated now. There are no further smallpox cases anywhere across the world. It has been eradicated thanks to the vaccinations. Also, similarly, the polio disease, which again used to kill thousands of people and used to infect millions, lead to crippling in a lot of hundreds and thousands of people for the whole of their lives. And thanks to the polio vaccine, it's almost eradicated from most parts of the world, leaving only a few small places here and there where the wild polio virus is still active. But for the most part, in the most places in the world, the polio disease has been eradicated thanks to the vaccine which is available currently. So that's the power of these vaccines, that they can lead to complete eradication of diseases itself. So we'll discuss as to how they work and what their potential, what are the side effects, and what all vaccines are available. So to begin with, this vaccine, we need to understand how they work. We need to know how an infection happens in our bodies. So when an infective agent enters the body, it elicits the immune system. It makes the immune system come up and take its course. So the infective organism releases its toxins and causes the disease, but at the same time our defense mechanisms comes into play, and it picks up these infective agents and try to defend our body. Now when they are doing so, they may get overwhelmed by the sheer number of the virus or the bacteria which are there, and also the fact that the body has not experienced such thing before, so body may feel overwhelmed, and hence the disease happens. So if most of the time body is able to handle the infection, but sometimes it doesn't, and therefore disease comes. Now when the disease happens or it doesn't, but once the infective agent bombards the body, it tends to create memory in the body, in the sense that memory cells, which are one of the important cells of our immune system, they tend to remember these infective agents, so that when the next time any infection happens or any infective agent comes into the body, they tend to defend it very well. That's how our body works against these infections in a natural way. So when we are doing vaccination, we are also doing kind of a similar kind of picture, except that instead of the infective agent, we are giving the vaccine, which is either a modified version of the infective agent, or one of the components of the infective agent, which has been modified so that it doesn't cause disease per se, but then it can incite a similar kind of immune response, just like an infection can do. So that's how the vaccinations work. So similarly, vaccine, when it's inoculated, it'll incite the immune response just like an infection. They are taken up by our immune cells, and also the memory cells are produced against the infection. So when such an infective agent actually comes in the body, now body this time is fully prepared to handle such organisms, because they have memory against them and they have experience of handling similar infection in the past through the vaccination. So that's the prime physiology as to how vaccinations work in the real world. All right, so it's always good to prevent the disease than to treat the disease, right? So by vaccination, we are actually preventing the disease to happen in the first place. Treating the disease is always it's very costly affair. B, it's never complete, and C, it tends to leave lot of residual effects. So for the society per se, as for a country per se, treatment is not a good option as far as when there is availability of vaccination. So there are a lot of vaccines which are available, which can prevent these infections. Not all organisms we can produce vaccines, because the ones which change very fast, it's difficult to produce vaccines against them. But the common diseases which are encountered in India especially, the vaccines do real wonders. So please ensure that your kids get all these vaccines. Just think of it as an investment, don't think of it as a cost issue. You are actually preventing a lot of, or you're saving a lot of money by vaccinating your kids. Even if out of 10 vaccines which you don't give, a child gets one infection into their lives, the cost of treatment and the social effect and the societal and the family impacts are way more than the cost of actual vaccines. So think of vaccination as an investment, not as a expense. Now there are different kind of schedules which are available for vaccinations. You will find at different hospitals a little bit different schedules. Some up and down schedules are followed. Now it's important to stick to one vaccination schedule rather than changing the schedule. It's important to get the vaccination done either one way or the other. So please stick to your pediatrician and their vaccinations. Generally, there are the Government of India schedule, there are WHO schedule. So all these are more or less similar, except some vaccines which are available as a national program may not be, which may not be available in the national program, but are important. Things like typhoid vaccine and hepatitis A vaccine, they might not be available in the national program, but they are still important vaccines. So when the baby is born, they are given three vaccines: hepatitis B, oral polio, and BCG right at birth. The moment baby is born, even before giving the baby to the mother, generally babies are given these vaccines, and the vaccine card is generally handed over to the parents at the time of discharge, which has got the date for the next vaccinations as well, right? So the next date for vaccine is generally at 6 weeks, then 10 weeks, and 14 weeks. This is the schedule for DPT vaccines: diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus. So these three diseases used to cause a lot of cases in India, especially. A lot of our wards used to, when I was doing my post graduation, there were a lot of cases of these diseases. But now with the advent of high quality vaccine and the government programs wherein they are trying to cover most of the babies, the disease incidence has gone down quite a bit. So we are finding less number of cases out of these diseases because of the vaccinations, and the coverage rate currently going on is more to the tune of 80%. So if you get such good coverage, you are actually preventing the disease to happen even in those 20% cases which are not vaccinated, right? Either they are not vaccinated by the parents, or they cannot be vaccinated to various reasons, that their immune function is already depressed, or they have other diseases due to which they cannot be given vaccine. So you are actually doing a service to the society by not giving, by taking vaccination, so it protects yourself as well as the people who cannot be vaccinated. So it's very important to this phenomena, by the way, is called as herd immunity. So it's kind of provides an umbrella effect to those people who cannot be vaccinated. By up to 80% of people, if they get vaccinated, they'll protect the remaining 20% as well at the same time. All right, so huge impact of vaccine. In fact, WHO actually recently came up with a report that more than 5 million, 50 lakh children die in India every year because of these vaccine preventable diseases. So huge way to go forward. We still have a lot to cover. We need to prevent these 5 million deaths because they are preventable deaths. We just have to vaccinate the children properly, and once they are given all the required doses of vaccines, we can actually prevent these deaths. So please stay motivated. Please discuss with the parents, with their doctor about the vaccinations as to why they are important and when, what kind of scheduling it should be done. All right, so that was in general. Now, there are side effects of vaccination, no doubt. Just like any other medicine, there can be side effects, right? Even if you take paracetamol, it will have side effects, but then you always have to weigh benefit versus risk, right? So if there is a benefit outweighs the risks, it's better to take. So, and in vaccination, actually benefits really outweigh the risks. So risks are very minimal generally. Just like any other infection, once you inoculate a vaccine, it can lead to mild fever, mild rash at the site of injection, right? There is mild redness, swelling, erythema, then some kind of itching can happen. So these are the local side effects. And systemic in the blood, once it goes, it can lead to fever, it can lead to some drowsiness, some kind of laziness, loss of appetite, and very, very rarely it can lead to severe side effects like seizures, and even deaths are sometimes reported. But then this incidence of severe side effects is extremely rare, right? To the tune of 1 in millions of doses. So I'll give you one example, interesting example of Harry Potter series. My daughter is really into Harry Potter books, so she's read all 7 volume of books. So there are around 1 million words in all the 7 books of Harry Potter series, and one word out of that is that death which I'm talking about. So all those words, there's one word somewhere in those books, all 7 books, which will lead to death, and rest all the babies generally would be protected. So that's a very minuscule chance considering the overall population. So yes, vaccination is indeed one of the most potent healthcare measures which government should take, and they are doing their best to kind of promote vaccinations. And it is our duty as doctors and pediatricians to make sure that all our babies who are visiting us get the right information, the parents get the right information, and babies get all the required vaccinations at the right times, so that they are also protected from all these diseases. Right, so please don't hesitate to talk to us about these vaccinations. Um, so cost can be an issue sometimes, but then there are various types of vaccines which are available. You can discuss out. There are cheaper versions are also available, so we need to weigh the benefits versus risk at the same time. So those things can be dealt with on an individual basis, right? So that was about the vaccination, and they are generally safe with very mild side effects, tolerable side effects. But you need to understand that every body is different. Just like every medicine would produce a different effect in people, similarly vaccines will also produce different kind of reactions in the people. It's people's own immune response which leads to all these reactions. So some people tend to mount stronger immune responses, therefore side effects can be a little stronger. Some people don't do that, and side effect profile can be lesser. But in general, the vaccines are considered very safe, and the beneficial impacts are huge, a lot. Because of the current situation going on, because of the COVID situation, people are scared of not coming out of the houses and get their kids vaccinated. I am following a lot of babies. I'm getting a lot of queries from the parents as to if they can delay these vaccines. So honestly, we also initially recommended when the lockdown and COVID situation started and that let's delay for some time that the situation be coming under control, and vaccines can be done then at that time. But then now it's been more 6 months or so that situation is still going on, and we don't know how long it's going to last. So we don't want another pandemic to happen because of the delays of these vaccines. So already we are seeing cases of measles and chickenpox coming, and these cases can be easily prevented by administration of vaccinations. So please don't get, please come out of the houses and get your kids vaccinated if there is any delay in vaccination. Hospitals these days generally are maintaining good hygiene. They're taking all precautions, and hygiene is being maintained, and OPDs are being run through only appointment basis strictly, and no walk-ins. So all this help to prevent infection, and again saying that the benefits outweigh the risk. So giving vaccination, especially if they're delayed, it's very essential, more so than the slight risk of catching the infection while moving out of the houses. So yeah, delaying the vaccination after certain point is not recommended. So the vaccination should, and preferably should, be done in a timely fashion. Sometimes the vaccines can themselves lead to infection, but that's very rare, and these infections are mild and usually self-controlled. So there are lobbies available wherein the vaccines are not recommended, but then those lobbies are non-scientific, and they don't understand the science behind it. And there have been a lot of examples all across the world wherein vaccines were delayed or stopped for a while, and then there were the disease outbreaks which have happened. I'll give you an example of Japan, wherein in I think 1974 they had diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus DPT vaccine was being given, and very few cases came up. But in the 76, there was some rumors going around that vaccines are not safe, so a lot of people did not take the vaccine, and that year there were like 80 deaths and more than 13,000 cases of pertussis which happened. So, and Japanese government took toll of that, and then they restarted the vaccination stringently, and afterwards the cases declined. So there was a cause and effect relationship exactly with and without the vaccination available all throughout the world. So yeah, there is no doubt left as to vaccines are important, and they should be given in a timely fashion. All right. I think I've discussed a little bit about the vaccination. Um, any questions coming up, I'll be happy to answer. So I can see is due, some I'm afraid of visiting hospital because of COVID. I think I've answered that question, that COVID scenario is going to stay for some time, and delaying vaccine after certain point is not a good idea. So and we can club those vaccines together in one visit. More than one vaccine can be safely given in one visit, and therefore it should be done in a timely fashion. All right, I think that's all I have at this point. So if any questions, you can ask offline as well, and I'll try and answer and reach to you later on. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.